Okay guys, welcome back to another PVZ build, and in today's video we are going to be making the white bishops. I'll see you after this. Okay guys, so in the last couple of videos we built the board, we built the rooks, we built the knights, and today we're going to be building the bishops, so we're working our way in. So yeah, today is going to be quite a unique one actually, because there's a few bits to this one. So which one have I decided to go with? Which plant, I hear you cry? Well, I decided that with bishops they shoot diagonally and they can go long distances. So I thought, what better than the Gatling pea? So yeah, so sit back and enjoy as we build a Gatling pea, or two Gatling peas in this case. So yeah, I will see you at the end. Okay guys, welcome back to a brand new build. So obviously in this video we're going to be making the Gatling pea bishops. So I found this file online, uploaded originally by someone called TNQ Lucky or Tunk Lucky. Sorry if I've probably butchered that, so apologies for that. But yeah, I believe this was a remix of somebody else's, and then this is the version that this young lady uploaded. And this is perfect for what we need it for this build. So yeah, so I downloaded this and then I put it into my editing software in Matter Control, and then I sliced it in two halves, and then I saved the file, and then I put it over into my slicing software, made sure everything was nice and flat to the level bed, and now that we're ready, let's go ahead and print it off.
Three hours later.
Okay, so here we are, all printed, and I have to admit I'm happy with it, how it turned out. There is a lot of those wispy line things that you get with filament printing, but that's no worry, we can soon clean this up. So I'm just going to go ahead and cut these into various little parts, do a lot of cleanup work. There's no point me showing you the full amount of work that needs to go into cleaning these and putting these together, otherwise the video will be like 3 hours long. So I'm just going to do a quick little fast forward snippet just so you get a general idea, and then we can get on to the next step. So now that we've got these parts looking a lot more cleaner, for the next stage we need to go ahead and add A to B. And we're going to be doing that with just regular everyday super glue. So I'm just going to take my time, make sure I get all nooks and crannies, sandwich both parts together, and then bring our good old friend Mr. Clamps out to play, and then we can go ahead and leave these a few hours to fully dry.
Alright.
So after leaving these a good few hours to fully dry, for the next stage I'm going to go in with a file, and we're going to try and file down that center groove and trying to make it a lot thinner and a lot more natural looking. And once that was done, we can then go ahead and light another candle, and we can go ahead and bathe these a couple of seconds in fire just to try and get rid of those horrible wispy bits that everybody hates, especially me. Okay guys, so for the next stage I need to go ahead and think about attaching the head to the body. Now it's supposed to connect like roundabouts there, so it's freestanding, but it seems silly to waste the opportunity to glue those at the back of the helmet to these stems. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and carefully drill a channel hole in the top of here, and then we're going to go ahead and glue a tiny piece of metal that we can then use to glue to the head as well. So yeah, this is quite delicate because one wrong move and that could reopen that seam line, and then getting that little bit of wire in there was kind of tricky. And then line it all up and then just fit it in place. Quite a nice tight fit, which is what you want. And now we just need to go ahead and line it up to those back stalks, super glue it in place, and then leave it to dry. So while that's drying, I'm going to go ahead and crack on and do the exact same with the second Gatling P. Okay guys, so here are the new replacement parts. Now you might be able to see this on camera much, but these are the old parts. So as you can see there, it's like big chunks missing out of it. So yeah, and as you can see here, side by side comparison, it's a lot better now. So yeah, so I'm gonna get rid of them ones, and we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna go clean up these ones.
5 minutes later.
So you can see there guys, that has cleaned up a lot nicer than the last ones. So now we go ahead and add them to the front of the Gatling P with, yes you guessed it, high velocity super glue. Yeah, that's glued a little bit to the right. I'm gonna have to take that off and redo it. Okay guys, so now that these are all glued, for the next stage I'm going to go in with some pre-mixed milliput, and I'm going to try and sculpt into like some of these like areas here, like under the neck area, and maybe go over some like rough parts like this stem, and maybe a little bit on top of the helmet, etc. So just a general once over. So once this is hardened, this should be a lot smoother. So now that that one's done, I'm going to put that to one side, let it dry, and now I can crack on with the next one.
Stop it. Get some help.
70 years later.
So after leaving these a good few hours to fully cure, I then went in with some files just to try and get these a lot more smoother. So we're now back to the bases. Now in previous videos I described how I made these in a software called Matter Control, and these are free to download on my Thingiverse, all links in the description below, so you can have fun making your own kind of unique chess sets if you like. So yeah, so now that these are printed off and super glued in place, let's go to the spray booth.
Yeah, boy.
So nothing too special guys, just a regular everyday grey prime from a rattle can. So I went ahead and gave these a quick blast of it, and then I went back and smoothed out some imperfections that were obviously visible now. And then after a lot of smoothing, it was back into the spray booth, and I give the Gatling Ps another coat as well as the bases. So now we can start slinging paint.
Yay, lovely jubbly!
Okay guys, so now that the main figure is built, now I've smoothed it as much as possible, but there are still some layer lines that you can still see. So in order to smooth those right down, I'm going to go in with a layer of UV resin. I'm going to paint a full coat, and then we're going to go ahead and put it in the curing chamber, and then we'll leave it a couple of minutes to fully harden. Okay, let's go ahead and put it into the UV curing machine. Okay, so now that these are a lot smoother and a lot more stronger, we're going to go ahead and start painting. So I'm going to start by going in with, yes you guessed it, livery green from Game Colour, and I'm going to go ahead and give both of these a couple of coats. while the livery green is still out, for the next stage I'm going to go in, I'm going to paint the little bishop icon on the front of the chest base. Okay guys, so for the next part I'm going to go in with a sick green and I'm going to go ahead and paint these bases. Okay guys, we're at the halfway point roughly, and I just wanted to say, if you're enjoying this video, please slap that like button, and if you want to be a really awesome viewer, why not hit the subscribe button, because you really don't want to miss out on future builds that we've got in the pipeline, and we have got some cool stuff coming up. So, back to the video. So I don't want to go ahead and waste what was left of that sick green, so I added a little bit of water to make it into a wash, and then I went around all the parts we've previously painted and then basically just give this a one-over wash, wiped away the excess, and then that goes a long way to adding shading to all the nooks and crannies. And now in with a little bit of livery green and a stipple brush just to add a dry brush highlight over the various leaves and petals, etc., just to bring some of that vibrancy back. So while the livery green is still out and I've got the dry brush in my hand, I thought this is a good stage to add an edge highlight of light green to the chest bases, much like what we did with the rooks and the knights in the previous builds. And once that dried, I then went in with some moon yellow and did the exact same step, but just to add a little bit more colour variation in some of the highlighted areas.
What?
And now I'm going to go in with just general everyday black acrylic paint, and I'm going to use a very fine detail brush, and I'm going to take my time to get into all the little nooks and crannies and try to paint the inside of that Gatling Gatling gun on his mouth area.
No way!
Yes way!
And while we've got the black acrylic still out, I'm going to go ahead and add some of the various details to the Gatling P, like the eyes, those little square little marks on his cheeks, and then I'm going to start adding some basic tones to his strap on his chain and try and get into some of the shadowy areas like under his helmet, etc. And next I'm going to go in with a dark to mid green, and I'm going to go ahead and apply this very slowly in stages, because the paint I'm using is it's the right colour but it's kind of thick, so I have to water it down and build it up slowly so it's nice and even and we don't have any of those horrible streaks everywhere. And now I'm going to go in with a gunmetal grey, and we're going to go ahead and paint over the Gatling part of the Gatling P. And once that has been given maybe 2 coats, we can then go ahead and add a highlight. And while the gunmetal grey was already out, I thought I'd go over and give a thin coat to the helmet, just so it comes across a little bit more metallic in nature rather than the standard green that we just applied. And for the next part I'm going to go in with a matte number 48 from Revell, which is a sea green matte, and I'm going to go ahead and apply that to the helmet. I've struggled a little bit to get the right colour consistency for the helmets, so yeah, things are looking a little bit bleak when I have to go delving into my old enamel Revell paints from probably about 10 years ago. Probably more actually, probably about 15 years ago when I think about it. So yeah, so bloody good stairs needed, and hopefully this is the right colour to work.
Eight hours later.
And next I'm going to go in with a burnt umber from Model Air, and I'm going to go ahead and paint the strap under his chin.
Alright.
So for the next part now, we need to go ahead and recreate a little star that goes right on the front here, to make him look like a general or something like that. So I went through my spare decals and I noticed that we've got two identical stars right here. So what I'm going to do is cut them out and then apply them into place and hope for the best. And for the next part I'm going to go in with some decal fix and a Q-tip, and I'm just going to rub it over the decals, and then that should make these smooth out much more nicely. Yes, I think that will work lovely.
Yeah, baby, yeah!
Okay, so for the next part, now these on the helmets usually have these like little 4 studs on either corner. So in order to recreate these, I'm just going to go in with some of these little stick-on little beads that you can get from any decent arts and crafts store.
Get the idea.
For the next part I'm going to go in with some middle stone, which is like a very light brown colour, again from Model Air, and I'm going to go ahead and paint the strap under the helmet. And now in with some silver from Model Air, and I'm going to use a stipple brush to dry brush some highlights onto the Gatling gun piece, as well as some other extras like the buckle on the chin strap. And now I'll say that these are ready to add to their bases. So I'm just going to go in for sharp scalpel and add a couple of little zigzag little score marks into the centre of the base. I'm going to do the same with the underside of the Gatling P and a little bit of super glue to the rescue, and we can go ahead and add these in place. Okay, let's go ahead and leave these a couple of hours to fully dry.
Alright.
And now we're into the spray booth, and this time we're going to go in with at least 2 coats of a nice gloss varnish. We're going to make these nice and shiny and cartoony, just so they match the others.
11 minutes later.
So now that the gloss varnish has had time to fully dry, for the next stage we're going to go in with some very vibrant felt, and we're going to go ahead and add the felt to the bottom of the chest piece. So we did this in the other 2 videos for the rooks and the knights, and obviously we want everything to match. So I'm just going to carefully cut out a square that will easily house the bottom of this base, and then trusted PVA glue to the rescue, put a little dab of it on the bottom of the base, and then just sit it on top of the felt, and then leave it overnight to fully dry, and then we go in and we cut off the excess gently and make this nice and neat and trim. And with that, I think it's finished. Okay guys, so here they are, both finished, and I am happy with the finished results. So now that they're finished, we can go ahead and add these to the chessboard. Okay guys, I hope you've enjoyed this video. Me myself have enjoyed working on these. and I'd say they were probably middle of the road in the form of they weren't as difficult as the knights, and they were a little bit more difficult than the rooks. But all's well that ends well. I did really enjoy working on these, and I hope you enjoyed watching my progress so far. So if you're liking these builds so far and you're looking forward to seeing the end results for this chess set, please smash that like button, and don't forget to share on social media like Facebook and X, etc., so new people find the YouTube channel, which I'm always appreciative of. Thank you for any help, and with your help the next goal is to get to 3,000 viewers. So we've only just pipped over the 2,000 line. So yeah, so if you're a constant lurker and you keep coming back to my channel, please do me a solid and click the like button and click the subscribe button so you don't miss out on future builds, etc. And yeah, the only other thing to say is next video is we're going to be working on the queen, on the white queen, so that's going to be exciting. So if you have any ideas what you think if you have any ideas on what you think the white queen could be, comment below and let me know. And yeah, I'm not going to spoil anything, but yeah, I'd like to see how many people guessed right. So yeah, if you want to be a really awesome viewer, please take 5 minutes to check out my Patreon page, where with your help we can do these videos full time rather than part time, which means a lot more work for me and a lot more content and entertainment for you guys. So once again, I'm Francis Gray, and these have been the Gatling P bishops for the white side on the legendary Plants vs Zombies chess set. I'll see you in the next build.
If you like the content that I'm making and you'd like to support my work, here is a few links in the description, but only if you can afford it, and thanks for watching. See you in the next one.